Can't turn back. I just press the button. So I'm just getting over this little flu-like symptoms. For the past 3 days, been shaking it off. Been pulling through, man. Still holding it down. I'm gonna get right to it, man, because this just, you know, this came, this topic came. I was in the shower, it just, of course, it had to do with other things like people I spoke to, conversations, especially couple calls, couple one-on-ones. But I want to say congratulations, man, on getting to your own personal and private heaven. But like, of course, I'm saying it in past tense because, especially when you look at things in hindsight, that's where all the data be. That's where all the data resides. And if you know, take those notes on that data, same thing. Um, you can gain more knowledge of self and things around you. But this is about how you made it to your own personal and private heaven. So, how did you get to this thing that we call heaven? How did you get there? Simply by self acceptance. You finally accept things for what it is and not just accept it. You allow things in. When you accept the things around you for what it is and understand that as a principle, it helps you gain self acceptance. But the beauty of self acceptance is when you have self acceptance, you allow yourself to receive more. You know, let people be them, let them do what they do. It really has nothing to do with you. So always remember self acceptance. When you allow things in, it doesn't just mean allow anything in with no boundaries, but you allow things in and it doesn't affect you. It can't afflict you. This also has to do with internal discipline. So this is how you got to heaven. So when you have self acceptance for you, another thing about self acceptance, I said internal discipline, is about recognition, about tallying up your wins and not just paying attention to the losses. Because when you do take L's, what they say, you can't spell millions without two L's. All right? It's just like that. So recognition of your wins is about self-acceptance as well. And recognition of oneself. So when you accept outside of you first, before self-acceptance, as it is what it is, let people be silly, let them be them, you allowed yourself to receive more. It's just so subtle in your subconscious. Because if you don't self accept or accept things the way they are, then that means that you're like, guarding or blocking something, which won't allow things in. Like I said prior in one of my prior videos before, see, like money. What does that have to do with money? Like, you could be walking and pick up a penny on the ground, or you don't accept that penny on the ground that was for you. You put it there. But let's not get too, out of line with these things. I don't want to get too far. You put it there. Now you go into the store, you see a penny. Why don't you pick it up? Because of pride, you're looking around. Like, see, that is so subtle. If you don't accept that, how are you going to be able to accept something at a bigger scale? Or you see a penny, but it's kind of corroded and it has the little blue things around it. What's up, peoples? What's up, my peoples? I'm getting used to this live stuff. I gotta pay attention to the chat. Stop yelling at me. What's up, Zay? What it is, holding it down, go by the pound. That's for you, Joanne. Holding it down, go by the pound. So, I love y'all, man. So, yeah, I gotta get used to looking at the chat, man. It's like what, my fourth live? There's no excuses though. It's right here in front of me. So, yeah, you can see a penny on the ground and it's all corroded. Like it has the blue things around it. It looked like the Statue of Liberty is green. It's about accepting, about receiving what you allow in. I like to always tell people, especially on the one-on-ones, when it comes to receiving, I like to talk about that story in the Bible because I read it esoterically, where I'm gonna make it short, where God, told him about the promised land, and it took him 40 years and 40 nights to get to the promised land. God told them everything would be all right, but they were so fearful about what they heard, about what it took to get to the promised land, that it took them 40 years and 40 nights. That's a simple analogy about allowing what you allow, what you able to handle emotional capacity. So, in hindsight, that's how you got to heaven. By accepting things as it is and it not affecting you. It doesn't affect your beliefs. It doesn't affect the way you feel. It is what it is. Now, what is the opposite of heaven? What could be the opposite? Y'all know what's the opposite. But in a more practical sense, the opposite of heaven would be being in a conceptual box. This is, again, not allowing things in. This is guarding from everything. Being in a box. Your beliefs, this is what your beliefs do. Your beliefs is like how far can you see? Whatever it is, it could be your desire, your goal. How far is your vision, your internal vision about anything? But beliefs form like walls around what you think or how you think it's supposed to be. And when those beliefs form, they block your vision from whatever you're trying to do or get to. So, and then those walls form blind spots. So, thank you. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you, man. So, those beliefs form like walls. And those walls, I didn't feel like getting the board up today. I guess it's because of the way I feel. Been under the weather. I'm shaking it off, though. It's like my third day. I'm shaking it off, though. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, beliefs form like walls, and those walls form blind spots, which get deeply entrenched in your subconscious mind. So, the opposite of heaven is a box, a conceptual box, and not being able to see past that box and getting stuck in your fears and old beliefs that don't serve you. So you made it to heaven because now you understanding that in order for you to flow and prosper, you have to take notes and perceptions. Your perception has to be on point. The way you take notes is different, or the way you've been taking notes has been different of the life perception. The way you take notes of what's going on in front of you, which developed your super perspective now. Now you have your own rules, your own values, your own beliefs. They form little by little. Now back to the recognition part. This is why you got the heaven. You got it. This is about this self acceptance. And I'm also touch on another little variable about self acceptance, but the thing is, I kind of lost my train of thought, but um, so let's go back to the one that I was putting to the side. Self acceptance has to do a lot with your self worth because the way that you've been taking notes and now you develop your own perspective, your own values, your own belief, this is what makes it personal and private. So you have to give yourself recognition, back to recognition. You have to tally up your wins because there's a little delay. You have to give your mind a chance, or you have to give the reality a chance to catch up with your mind, with your new perspective, with your new values. So that's why you made it to heaven, because you allowed that time to go by. Um, some people don't believe in time as the way you perceive time, your perspective on time. So, yes, you have made it to heaven because you understand that now you let things in, but they don't affect you. That doesn't mean you don't have boundaries, though. But now you letting things in and accepting things for what it is. And you let them come. You have an intention, boom, you focus on that. That's all you've been caring about, whether you know it or not. And that's why you here today, watching this right now, because you know you have made it to heaven. I'm just giving you the congratulations and the confirmation and the little subtle tweaks that you might have not noticed that you did. I wouldn't even be here talking about this if it wasn't for that. So you understand that now. You accept it for what it is, and you don't let it affect you. You know the opposite is being stuck in a conceptual box. You don't get stuck in the beliefs of others, of nobody, not even close to you. Not no family members, not no friends. You have your own values, you have your own boundaries, and that's the contrast. You understand what heaven is, and you understand what the other thing is. Now, when you do make it to your personal and private heaven, this has to do a lot with your self-worth. Because like I said, it's like why ask why. So you have to give the reality a chance to catch up with your mind, right? So it's personal and private because your environment hasn't merged in with your mind. And this delay happens. And this is through trial and error. Personal, this is me. Delays, because things can happen very quickly. What's up? What's up? Who's this, Kathy? So hi. The only one. Yeah, BDM Luch was good. Yeah, we on that. We on that. Your own personal, private heaven. It's my motherfucking brother. My nigga 8888, nigga. So, the only one. So yeah. So you know the contrast. And now when you get to your personal and private heaven, right? Now this is about your self-worth. Because like I said, you have to give the reality a chance to catch up with your mind. And this is where things, you might get a little desperate. You might be over committed on that. Like you're forcing that intent so much that it causes friction in your reality, and that's what causes the delay. Because you want it to happen so much, so you feel obligated to just give all your attention to that. And that's where the little gap is, the little delay, when you're focused on the effect so much, the outcome. And that's what causes the little disturbance in your reality, which delays the process. But we all know about time, so you have to respect that. Energetic wise, you respect that. You give it that grace. Period. It's grace. It's a gift. Allow it to prepare the gift. So you already set your mind up to a certain caliber. Now the reality has to adjust to that. So this is where how it creates heaven around your environment. And this is where the life starts supporting you, because we could go back. It starts supporting you because you impressed it. You impressed yourself by recognizing your wins, by being able to go back and recognize your wins. Or even today, whatever your wins was, I know you won, because I wouldn't be even talking about this, man, to y'all specifically. By accepting your wins, by not being in the conceptual box, by not being swayed by beliefs by others, having your own values. See, you could adopt the beliefs of people and friends and family that you want to become. That you actually see their life and you be like, damn, that's a part of me that I would love to like expand on. That's okay. You could adopt somebody's belief. That's okay. Make sure they applicable to your values. See, when you have values, you impress this universe that you in. So, like I said, you got to give the reality a chance to catch up with your mind. Just that grace period. And that's how your environment starts supporting you. And it's like Noah's Ark or Ark. I mean, an ark is like the ark on your feet, right? Right? I got flat feet, so I can't even. I got like duck feet, so I can't even say that. You most likely have an ark, nice ark, and an ark, by definition, or just looking at what an ark is, it supports you. It floats on water. You don't have to sink. You don't sink. You got your ark. So the environment supports you. It's an ark, and you're floating on prosperous things because you start to recognize all your wins daily. You're not in no conceptual box. You do have your values, your own perception, and you stand on it with conviction. That is the difference. So I think I touched on this a little bit. It might be not that long. What is that? How long I've been on here for? 20 minutes? 2020, right when I looked at it. 2020 vision. How do you lock that in forever? Just don't focus on the effects, right? Focus on what causes these things, like what's in your subconscious or your unconscious mind. It's like where your soul lives, you know what I'm saying? The core of your emotions. Focus on what causes the things that you want to happen. And it's not like forced attention. Understanding principles is also a big one to lock this in forever. And don't get it misunderstood. Don't get the misconception of that things won't happen in your reality. Things opposite of what you want. Because I don't know, man. A lot of people be talking like everything is like love and light, and nah, it's not like that. You're gonna go, especially every time you set the bar for yourself. Emotionally, you might get affected. You might even get nervous. That's okay. But the way you respond to it, and it's okay to be like, this is about self-acceptance. This is what I'm talking about. Like, damn, I'm a little nervous. It's all right. Of course, you won't panic, but because you're not emotionally volatile, you can return back to baseline immediately because you have clarity. This is about clarity. When you do have these steps that I mentioned, it's about clarity. So it's okay. As soon as you're okay with that, and you don't jump on an opposing frequency of whatever space that you occupy in, you're okay. I'm not saying things don't happen. Things will happen. But your responsibility to these things, the ability to respond, the way you respond is crucial. And that's what sets the tone for the next thing, which I told you, that's the next step. So if that's the delay, and you also got to give your mind the chance to catch up with your new mind. So it's like Y acts Y. It's all the same. It's all the same. As soon as you understand that principle, this life will support you. That doesn't mean, like I said, things won't happen, but the way you respond is crucial to these things. We gotta talk about money. So I do have one-on-ones with a couple entrepreneurs. I like to keep it, cool, not a lot of people, but yeah. But fuck it. We here though. Let's talk about money, like, cause people need money to live. Let's not get it twisted. So how would money integrate with all this? Like I already said it. Simple as picking up a penny and allowing. Once you allow that, once you open up, like you open up, right? You allow. You're not in the box. Once you open up, right? What happens is now you're more giving, right? Because you allowing. If you open up, right, you're more giving, but you're more giving and you're more allowing. You're more welcome to receiving. So, peep game. I talked in my prior video, like, money also has to do with communication. There's emotions flowing, right? Energy, emotion. There's emotions flowing. This is why energy Money's transferring or whatever. Money gets transferred because of value. Exchanging the value. This is also emotions. You went to the store, bought a pair of pants because it brought up some nostalgia, or a dress, nice dress that you've been wanting. It's like, oh, I like this, or yeah, them shit's dope. Like, them shits go with the new whatever I got. It brings up emotion. So there's money in there, right? You bought them, whatever. It's value. So money integrates with all this because now you opened up. So you able to give more energy out through conversations, through probably more quality time with your family. Probably you run a business. You give more value to your clients. This is all, or you're just more present with them. Opening up, allowing is the same thing as opening up. So soon as that gets built in to your new mind, or it has been already, because it's congratulations. It's a congratulations. As soon as that gets built in, or it has been built in, that's why money won't stop flowing to you. I mean, it's non-linear. I don't care who tells you it's because they did that technique and did that and that happened. Nah, that shit comes from anywhere. But the same way, it's like how you opened up and you're not everywhere. You're not spreading yourself thin. Obviously, you're responsible about yourself. You protect yourself. You would know when to rest and when not to. When is open, when is not. You're able to give, you're able to receive. It says it's a flow. Prosperous. Stay flowing. It's always back to the top. Self-acceptance. When you open up, you're able to produce more energy and give it. And guess when you give it out to life, the universe gives you an IOU. It'll come when you least expect it too. And it's when you least expect it. Most of the time is when you hit your crest. Because look like this, like a frequency wave, right? Let's get a little bit scientifical. Heinrich Hertz, the one who discovered the frequency wave, right? The frequency. You know, frequency levels. Heinrich Hertz. You might see me with some shit called Heinrich on. Yeah, those that know me by my first name know what's up. But, right? This is right here. It's called the crest, the top. When it dips, the frequency, it's called the trough. And then in those two words, there are two words that describes a feeling. In crest, there's a word, and in trough, there's a word. TROUGH. That's a word, and in crest, there's a word. There's a word inside of there that describes both a feeling, and it's mad funny. The crest, right? There's a word in there called rest, and it's funny as hell that it hits its crest when it's at rest, and you hit your trough when it's rough, when you feel like it's rough. You get it? I didn't make that up, but it's there. But I'm just saying, those are two feelings that happen that makes your frequency. So, money is in this equation with you being able to reach your own personal and private heaven. Money has a lot to do with it. If it's not there yet, it's on its way to you. That's a guarantee because you have made it past these feelings. You're steady now. You're surfing. And I want to say, Why would I like say it like that, personal and private? This has to do with your worth. I don't think I said it, but this has a lot to do with your worth because you come to the understanding, like I said, you start to accept things for what it is, and you help as much as you can, but you don't save. Like that's exact. Like you can make, and a simple example is if you are a business owner, but you feel like you always got to do everything, and the moment you give the keys or whatever to your one of the employees you hired or your team, it's like you feel unsafe leaving their sight. Every little fire in your little business, you have to be there and you don't let your team think for themselves to take care of it. It's a little subtle issue, subconscious issue with if you're not there doing the work, then you don't feel like a boss. Like that. So, your own personal and private heaven, but this is how it's gonna flip though. Because like I said, once you reach that state and when you lock it in, the life starts mirroring you. So your team will start showing the amplitude and the expansion of yourself. They'll start to mirror you. But it's just that delay because you got to give that the reality a chance to catch up with you. So it's okay. You're on the right track and you always have been. But don't let it make you take 40 years and 40 nights, just like the story in the Bible. Your way to the promised land, God told you in your ear. All you had to do was listen. Boom. Conviction the whole way through. Don't let it take 40 years and 40 nights. Don't worry, your team will come together. They will actually mirror everything in your subconscious. So it has to do with your self-worth in the beginning. Know your worth. Know that it's changing. Tally up your wins right there because no matter what happens outside of you, don't let it feel like you got to save it neither. Like, or that it's crumbling. It's not. It's just an illusion to see if you could keep your composure. You know what I'm saying? See if how volatile, how emotionally volatile are you? Like, stay cool. It's about your self-worth. Like back to saving, a big one is like, because there's a like a collective unconscious. You know, I think Carl Jung talks about this. He's famous for that. It's like things that, like probably dreams that everybody has, like similar, like you know the mother archetype, the Joker, the hero. So since we're talking about saving, it's like the hero archetype. Like you got to save people. And what's funny about saving this, the like opposing side to saving, it's like you might feel like like dependent, like codependent, like like you always need somebody to applaud you or validate you, or you just need to save them. Just you just feel like you might need to save somebody so they can say like, "Oh, you saved me." It's like a hero, but the opposite side of that, if you don't master that hero-ness in you, because everybody's a hero, man, you didn't help somebody, but codependent, because then this gets transferred or transformed into other things in your life. Like like this. I think people talk about this, like you doing so good that some people might get anxiety after doing so good because they're expecting something to go wrong. Like you're dependent on something being saved. So you gotta struggle to make it up because you want to save something. You get it? It's codependent if you don't master the hero archetype within you. So And it's funny that, it's not funny, but, heaven, Savior is all one and the same. But make sure you lock this in, man. And I want to say it again to everybody that came on this live. I just want to say congratulations, like truly, for reaching your own personal and private heaven, in which you decide to open up and share that heaven with others. But it's completely up to you. And now you know that everybody else has their own, until we all do connect and have one big one. But for now, you reach your own, and you could allow people in your heaven, and they could allow they can allow you and theirs. And it's all about allowing, receiving, opening up so you could be able to give energy. It's about not being in a conceptual box. It's about mastering your hero archetype, about not feeling dependent, not feeling anxious when things are going right. It's about staying cool and not having this emotional volatility, always returning back to baseline. It's about having your own perception, your own beliefs, your own values, of course, and getting money, right? So, man, thank y'all for showing up. All y'all. The question is, do you recognize? Yeah, most definitely. Every day, I take a win. I tally up my wins. I'm sorry I didn't get to this question before. Yeah, every day. Like, what did I do for myself? I rested. Money came out of nowhere today, and I was thankful for that. Like, I really rested. I did something today, like, that I really never do. And I took that as a win. I sat down, my little office, my big office, ain't do nothing. Ain't look at my phone, nothing. Just sat here, chilling. Went to the gym. Simple. Ate good. Oxtails. It's wins. It's wins. So always remember, tally up your wins, man, because some people forget. They don't know even what they declare as a win. So it's what you define, what you give meaning to, however you define it. I shook off, like I'm shaking it off 3 days in a little rut. Yeah. Sipped on a little tea. Like, still went to the gym. Those are wins. Like, so I do. To answer your question, Joanne, I always recognize every day. And if we talking about bigger wins, just big wins. And most of them are like more giving than me receiving, but it's about right. It's a nice balance. Caddy, what it is, my nigga BDM Luch, man. It's my motherfucking brother. On the set. Yeah, but I guess y'all already know. Let's keep it infinite. I'm gonna end this. How you do this?